Okay, we're given an arithmetic regression, and you're told what AN is. You're told what D is and SN. So I guess the first thing to do would be write down, well, let's write down AN first. And what would you get over there? Let's write this down. That's going to be 23 over 12. Sorry about that. Equals A1. I don't know what A1 is. Plus, let's take a look. It's going to be N minus 1. I don't know what N is. Times the D. The D is 5/12. I'm going to simplify it a tiny little bit. And the reason I want to get rid of the fraction. So 23, 12A1, plus, let's expand this then. It's going to be 5N minus 5. I'm going to add 5 to both sides. I would get 28 equals 12A1 plus 5N. All right, get my eraser out. I'm kind of done with this stuff over here. I have a relationship between A1 and N. Now I'm going to write Sn down now. All right, so let's write Sn down. That's minus 58 thirds. Well, I don't know what N is. This over 2. I do not know what A1 is. And AN is 23 over 12. All right, so that both equations there is 2 equations, 2 unknowns. So what I really need to do is make a substitution. And what I'm going to do, looking at it, I think I'm going to take that second equation, or the first equation I derived, and solve it for A1. And what would that give me? 28 minus 5N over 12. All right, I'm going to pop it in this equation over here, and you get minus 58 thirds. This is 2. I don't know what N is. A1 is 28 minus 5N over 12 plus 23 over 12. All right? So now, what are you going to do now? Well, let's take a look. I'm going to multiply both sides by 12. And I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. All right, let's write this down. And you're going to get, let's see, 3 into 12 is 4. So it's going to be 8 times minus 58. And then I'm going to get an N. Well, the 2 cancels and the 12 cancels, and I'm left off with 28 minus 5N plus 23. All right? Got to keep moving along, and I got an equation and one unknown, and I'm going to do it. Let's see, 50 times 8 is 400, and then 64, so minus 464. And then I got to do this business over here, and I'm going to write down minus 5N squared plus, well, 28 and 23, that's going to be 51, so 51N. And it's quadratic in form, so I'll write this down, 5N squared minus 51N plus 460, I'm sorry, I misspoke. I got to erase out. Minus 464 equals 0. Now, I hope you realize that whatever I do with the problem, N's going to be an integer number. I just don't know what the integer is. But what do I have over here? Certainly if I'm going to use trial and error, knowing that these things are integers or rational numbers, I'm going to get something like this over here. All right, that's a given. Now the 464, I'll be honest with you, it's a bigger number, but let me write down 464. And I think you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I've always done, which kind of look at the factors of 464. And so I might say 2, not that it's likely, but 2 times 232. And then I might see, well, 232 has a 2 in it, so I'd say 4, and that would be 116. And then I might look at that and say, well, you know what, there's another 2 there, so I might say 8, and that would be 58. And then I look at that and say, well, there's probably another, not probably, there is another 2 there, 16. And I could do this all day long, not all day long. I could do this until I'm exhausted with all the factors. But let's see, it would be 25 and 4, 29. Then I'm starting to think about it, and I'm thinking about the likely candidate here. And the likely candidate, well, they got to be integers. I know that much. And I'm looking at 16 and 29 now. I'm going to try to put this down for you. Now, someone says, oh, you're using the AC rule. Not really, but in essence, I am using the AC rule. AC rule is still a trial and error. I'm going to try to put this down over here. And what do I notice about this over here? I'm not going to put the signs in yet. So it's, 5 times 16 is 80. 80 minus 29 is 51, which is what I wanted. All right? Now I got to get some signs going on over here. So it's going to be minus, plus, and let's just check that out. You get 5n squared. Let's see, minus 80 plus 29 is minus 51n, and 29 times minus 16 is minus 464, as we know over here. So what is n going to be? N would be equal to minus 29 fifths, which is not a possibility because it's not an integer. And the other possibility would be n equals 16. So now I know n. I know n is 16. Did they ask for that? They sure did. I know n is 16. What else did they ask for? They asked for a1. So I'm ready to do that by looking at this equation over here. Let me write this down, 28. Oh, by the way, I want to point out 16's over here. 28 equals 12a1. And again, n is 16, and 5 times 16 is going to be 50 and 30, which is 80. And, I got to continue to solve that. And what do you get there? You'd get 28. Let me get to my eraser because I'm going to put my work over here now. So that's going to be, let's see, 28. I'm going to take 80 from both sides. So what would that be? That would be 52, right? Minus 52 equals 12a1. I'm going to divide by 12, and a1 would be minus 52 over 12. And let's just look at that. And I'm going to do some simple reductions first. Divide by 2, so it's minus 26 over 6. And I could divide by 2 again, and that would be minus 13 over 3. Whoops. Right over here. We got it. Thank you.